So good evening, everyone. We are going to start with the webinar, which is on digital education and digital volunteering. This entire initiative has been supported and started by Bangalore CSR Roundtable. It's a group which has been admin and has is an initiative of Mr. Abhishek and from Brilio, and we have more than 60 participants in that Bangalore CSR roundtable, which exists since last 4 years. We have CSR heads and CSR executives from different parts of Bangalore and different organizations of Bangalore. Um, so we
Now you're on mute.
yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is an initiative which has been started, Bangalore CSR Roundtable, which was started by Abhishek 4 years back, and we have more than 60 members in CSR Roundtable, which comprise of all the people from different organizations who represent the CSR department of the respective organizations working within Bangalore. The digital education and digital volunteering workshop, webinar, which we are talking right now, which we are hosting right now, is basically going to focus upon the importance of digital education in today's scenario because of COVID. The it is little difficult for all of us to work in presence or in physical way. So how can we leverage on this technical platform, and how can we use the digital education? That's what we are going to discuss in today's webinar. We have three important guests with us in this particular webinar. We have Abhishek Ranjan. He is Director of Sustainability Brilio. We have Deepak Prabhu Matti. He is Global Head Employee Volunteering Program Outreach Cognizant. And we have Nirbhay Lumde, Director Corporate Social Responsibility Asia Pacific, SBU CGI. Right. So we are going to start with this, and before we move ahead, I would like to talk about the objectives, what we are going to touch upon in this particular webinar. We are going to talk for another 1 to 1.5 hours, and we will explore the ideas of digital education and digital volunteering, the impact of it, how to engage the volunteers and participants, collaborations, trends and scope, and technology and creativity, right? So these are some of the objectives that we are going to touch today. And we will be starting with the overview. Before we start, I would like to mention over here that all the participants, most of you have given a response to the questions that were given to all of you, and we got a wonderful response from each one of you. So going by that particular response, most of you have asked for knowing that what are the different trends, what are the practices, how there can be collaborations, how can we reach out to beneficiaries. All these things are already being asked by the audience. So we will move ahead from here, and we will talk about the first aspect of it, that what exactly it entails. What do we understand by digital education and digital volunteering? For that, I would like to invite our first speaker, Nirbhay Lumde. Nirbhay is from CGI, and he is the Director of Corporate Social Responsibility. He has an extensive experience of more than 17 years, and he has worked as a social researcher in assessing impact of nutrition on children in the early school education, being a program coordinator in executing large-scale education projects in collaboration with various state governments. He has also been setting up systems and processes for strategic corporate social responsibility initiatives. He is also an author of a book titled called Corporate Social Responsibility in India, A Practitioner's Perspective. In 2017, he had an overseas stint in Boston, United States to support Fidelity's CSR and employee volunteering programs. And that provided him an opportunity to oversee various aspects pertaining to CSR, corporate charity, and philanthropy. And recently, he has been conferred with 25 Impactful CSR Leader Award. He has been featured in global list of 100 most impactful CSR leaders by CSR World Congress and was awarded the 2016 CSR Professional of the Year award. Um, we have already talked about his book. It has been covered by different journals, CSR journals like csrtimes.com India, csr.in, the CSR journal in, and it has substantial experience in working with government and also sound competency in liaising with the related institutes and development agencies. He is currently managing CSR interventions in the areas of education with special focus on STEM, gender and inclusion, sustainability and technology incubation, along with volunteering. And he has been instrumental in managing some of the largest plantation drives and equally passionate about lake rejuvenation efforts. He's a firm believer that CSR and sustainability initiatives makes a huge impact in social development landscape, and he can speak and write about CSR and provide thought leadership around strategic CSR, including employee volunteering programs. So let me invite and welcome Nirbhay. Nirbhay, a warm welcome to this webinar, and I just hand over the stage to you to take it over from here and enlighten us with your knowledge.
Hey, thanks, Now. That was a very elaborate introduction. I welcome all the participants. We know that these are the tough times. And also it's also known that, yes, when the things are tough, I think we need to be more tougher. The same applies to the volunteering. All of us, especially the panel members here, me, Deepak, or Abhishek, do agree that, yes, we also taken aback when we were told saying that, hey, now it's time that we need to have distance ourselves. Then what should we do next? So I'll begin with what's happening around us and where we are. The perspective is more around the urban segment, while we do have some stories and some segments or some segues, how we can look at rural areas. Purely from a corporate's point of view, first thing first, what worked was for us is there is nothing called discomfort. It's all about build your own comfort in the space that you already are. And there was no way than to do and distant or virtual volunteering. So a good number of corporates actually moved. In fact, you'll hear as three of us speak our own experiences. We didn't have any other option. Number one. Number two, we also realized that a good 10 to 12% of the population or the members or the employees do participate in corporate related volunteering in a physical where you want to go out, maybe take a break, get out of your workspace and do some physical volunteering and come back. But in a virtual world, it was new for all of us. It's new for most of us. I guess it was more, the only prior experience was more around mentoring, not so much about education. So from that angle, if I look at, I think 60 to 70% of companies already moved into this. And almost, I think it's been 2 months or 60 days or so, a good number of us have a regular volunteering members. Up to 8 to 10% of the members are employees participating on a regular basis. So where does that motivation come from? So who motivates them? One thing we need to really keep in mind, we are all social animals and we need some kind of interaction. I felt it was a wonderful opportunity, be it as people who are on the helm of CSR volunteering. For us, it was all about connecting employees who are interested to do something in their either free time or their fatigue device time. Second, we knew that we have beneficiaries at the other end who have challenges or still have had challenges or have challenges with technology connection. So we knew for sure that our employees are active and want to volunteer, do not know where and how. We do know the beneficiaries are keen about engaging because we had schools closures in the mid of March and we had to figure it out what next can be done. So purely from a segue point of view, it was more about building those platforms. And fortunately, we have dynamic platforms or dynamic NGOs that were willing to accommodate such a change. While the modalities could be different, maybe some of us have figured out we want to do an existing NGO or a partner. Some of us have explored newer partners, and some of us have done the ad hoc base, where on a need basis we figured out how we can engage with them. Now, purely from an engagement point of view, where did we go and how did we go? This is again from a landscape point of view. Each one of us have our own strategy. Maybe some of us have figured out maybe Zoom way of connecting with our beneficiaries. Some of us have figured out maybe a phone was the right way of engaging, and some of us have also figured out many other video platforms. There is no right way or a wrong way of getting engaging in the platform. It was all about engaging a meaningful way of interaction, and also see how we can engage our own employees meaningfully with the child on the other end, or could be see three kinds of engagement that have happened. Largely, one was more around engaging children or the adults on the mentoring part of it. Of late, we see a good number of programs around spoken English or teaching English and math has really become other area. While I do not want to club the STEM and English more so, the third was more around STEM program, where do-it-yourself kind of activities related to at your home you have got material and we held your hand and see how we can scaffold you. So those kind of programs have happened. Now coming to the infrastructure, there has been a challenge. Obviously, we are not connected. We need to figure it out. Is it one-to-one? Or is it group to group? Or a person at one end and you've got a group of kids or adults on the other side? Or is there any other way, a hybrid model that we want to figure it out? There is no right way or a wrong way. I think we went about the way it was comfortable for us. Initially, it was all about group volunteering. Figure it out how many kids we have, how many volunteers we are active who want to volunteer. From an engagement point of view, it all has began maybe end of the day. That's where we started. And the weekends were really very active that way because you got employees who are little free their time because they also need to give their own time for their family, which was very, very important. So therefore, it began with late in the evening programs to weekend. From a trend point of view, I would say that the continuing a good proportion of the employees are participating. The challenge that's going to be there purely from a point of view of how do we retain, that's number one. Because now it's novice, it's new. So you've got active volunteers, young population coming and joining you. How do you continue and retain that population? That's number one. The second most important that's going to be that in the previous segment where we had the physical volunteering, we were very clear about the targets. We knew the body language. We knew what's going in there. But with the virtual, we do not know how many of the kids or how many of the adults or the skill-based volunteering are going to work or not work. These things are going to play a key role. How do we retain? Of course, you need to have reward and recognition for sure. You need to retain, you want to retain your employees in volunteering, you need to reward. The reward need not necessarily monetary. This could be as simple as a kind of pat on the back, could be a small mail, or could be a small an update on a social media really works wonders for these employees. The second, more from infrastructure, maybe I can say a little more about it. I think we have lots of avenues how we can support the beneficiaries who are really interested. The third, more from an impact point of view, is impact need not necessarily in terms of these children are the kids who are at stage 1 and they are moved to stage 2. I think as long as we are engaging these children, I think it's important for us to have meaningful interaction going there. So that's where I say it. It's a long way. We just begin about maybe 90, 100 days that we are into it. with respect to state and central government going up, opening up schools and online education, I see a long way how our employees can participate and engage. I can certainly vouch there is going to be an impact, certainly, but there is a different way of measuring that impact. Need not necessarily be outcomes purely from the learnability or from a scholastic point of view. But certainly I see lots and lots of engagement that we see. So that's where I thought I'll just give some larger trends, larger perspective so that we all understand. Of course, what matters is also about you need to have a lucky team that supports you with some of those engagements. So I'm very lucky to have a team that supports me with volunteering. They are quick on their feet. They're very active. They're very progressive. They went that extra mile doing some of those programs. It's an extra effort for them because they had to quickly move from the physical volunteering to virtual volunteering. So of course, it's a mix of many things that works for you. But be ready, fall flat in case something going wrong. I think we are all quick learners. We have to make a beginning. I think we made a beginning. So that's where I thought those were my initial thoughts about what's happening, how do I feel, and we are heading. So that's what my summary of things. I think you're on mute.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nirbhay, for this summary. Our next guest is Mr. Deepak Matti. But before I move on to it, I would like to say that Nirbhay, you have really wonderfully summed up the overall aspect of digital volunteering and digital education. The initiatives which are being taken by different organizations across India and in Bangalore, that will pave a way for us to see that how we can leverage on the technology which is available to us in the urban and the rural India. And of course, I agree to the fact that what you mentioned, that it is difficult to see that how are we going to manage or measure the overall impact of the digital education. This will be something which we'll have to see over a period of time once we start working within this particular domain and we start using our resources in that particular domain. So that's an important thing which you have pointed out. But yes, we need to start at some point of time. We need to take initiative at some place, and this is just the beginning. There would be challenges, but I'm sure that with the kind of skills and the kind of the technology and the willpower we have, I'm sure that we will be able to find a way for using this platform for digital volunteering as well as digital education. So thank you for your point. Right, we'll move ahead to our next speaker, Deepak. Deepak is Director Global Head of Employee Volunteering Program Outreach at Cognizant.